Alright, so it's Friday, which means it's a story time video. Tomorrow I will have two other story time videos because tomorrow it's my choice, but I have two. It's my choice to figure out what content I'm going to produce for animation. I'm going to have two story times since I have to upload two videos. If I get another one recorded early, I'll try and do a second one tonight, but I cannot promise anything. If I don't do it tonight, I will most likely do it tomorrow or maybe another day. I don't know. As you guys have seen on my channel, I made a video with the schedule. So this one is going to be 4 parts total because these 4 videos are all, of course, 4 parts. So this is a very important topic that I want to share that Shgurr had animated. For anyone who doesn't know, Shgurr is an amazing animator. She is probably one of my favorites because she talks about real struggles, especially in these 4 videos. I will be showing you guys a message that I sent, or telling you guys a message that I sent her, because it was very important that I got that to her. Um, Overall, I just wanted to point out that Shgurr has been a huge influence on my mental state because I've had a lot of mental breakdowns. I've had a lot of times where I'm just like, stuff gets too overwhelming. I can't deal with stuff, and I'll talk about that when I'm done with part 4 because there's a lot of stuff that I really related to in these 4 videos. But right now, I'm just gonna let you guys watch the 8 minute and 30-second video, and I'll see you in the end. I'll talk about it afterwards.
Audible, listening makes us smarter, more connected people. It makes us better partners, parents, and leaders. There's no better place to start listening than Audible. Start listening today with a 30-day free trial using the link audible.com/Shgurr or texting Shgurr to 500-500. You'll get one audiobook and 2 Audible originals free. Audible is home to a large quantity of book titles that are dubbed.
Shgurr, I'm sorry, I gotta skip your sponsor.
I of other genres to choose from.
This is gonna have to be as far as I can go.
That would make me extremely happy.
Whoops,
But should
too far.
situations as I have, if I could just reach one child out there that felt the way I did growing up and make them feel a little better, that would make me extremely happy. But Shgurr, draw my life, you aren't done living yet. It's true that I'm in my early 20s, but this life is so different from how I'm living right now, I can't even recognize who this even is. With all good endings, there is a journey. This was mine. I don't know about you, but I can't remember much from being a kid. Too many times sitting in front of the TV watching SpongeBob or Dragon Tales is probably the culprit. I do remember one time almost swallowing a quarter while I was watching TV, so I guess that counts. One thing I knew for sure was that I was a really happy kid. That was going to change really fast. I'm very curious what your first memory as a kid was because the one I vividly remember involved spike balls, or at least that's what we called them. I did some research and apparently they are the fruit produced by the sweet gum tree. It looks oddly similar to the maple tree, but that's false advertising. If you think that stepping on a Lego is torture, then you've never fallen in a pile of these little jerkwads. I must have been 4 years old when I was hanging around a few girls. I think they were my neighbors or something, but I think we were friends. One of them in the group had this amazing idea of throwing these abominations at my older brother. That's when my psyche came into my body. Immediately I was like, I don't think that's a good idea. Why? Yeah, why? It'd be so funny. I mean, I wouldn't want people doing that to me, so I don't know. You're just wussing out. We won't be friends if you don't do it. I can't believe I was already being peer pressured at such a young age, but I did it anyway. Yeah, that was really stupid. This incident made me see the effects of peer pressure. I learned to trust in my instincts rather than to be a follower. Kids, listen. If someone is pressuring you to do something you feel is wrong, don't go through with it. From this encounter, I realized that I was different from other kids.
Okay, before this continues, I'm very sorry I had to pause this. I need to mention it gets very real. These videos, these 4 videos I'm going to be talking about and covering, get very serious. So if you have problems with just really emotional things, I suggest that you click off. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. Basically, stuff gets really stressful for her, and you'll see how bad it gets. But yeah, so just be warned that this stuff gets very dark and very real. So,
I was able to gauge other people's feelings, think ahead, and adapt. However, adapting comes with its issues, and I'd start to see them well enough. I was looking for real friends. That was extremely hard when people in California had the attitude of, "What's in it for me?" I don't know, an actual friend? Even though these people went out of their way to keep me out of their inner circle, they made sure not to leave me alone. Every single interaction with either kids at school or church was painful. They never had anything good to say. "You have too many siblings. Your mom should learn to shut her legs." "Hey, where are you going? A funeral?" "You smile too much. Stop being so happy." "Aw, look at the girl who has to wear donated clothing. I'm glad to see you're putting my rejects to use." I swear they'd even make a snide remark if I so much as breathed. "I must not be pretty enough. Yeah, that's it. If I keep brushing my hair, I'll be prettier. Look at this weirdo brushing her hair." Stop looking at me. Stop seeing me. Stop pointing out everything about me. 12 years of the same treatment. 12 years. The only reason I put up with it was because I tricked myself into the idea that one day they'll be nicer. They'll be more mature. I'm sure one single day it'll happen. I put way too much faith in them. Each year, the church does a thing called Girls' Camp. There was a new girl that just moved into the ward, and she was 12, just like me. This was my chance. She wasn't part of any cliques yet, and she doesn't know that I'm the target of everyone's aggression. We all went to camp. On the first night, a leader asked her to gather some supplies from the cabin. I jumped up and offered to go with her to help. This was my chance. I was going to start talking to her. This is what girls do, right? They always go to the bathroom in groups. This is not different. This is the same thing. We get up to the cabin and she abruptly stops. She turns to face me. "Would you stop following me around? We are never going to be friends." I was just trying to help. "I don't need your help." "Aw, you just love sitting alone, don't you?" One thing I learned as a kid is that adults aren't any better than children. In many ways, they're worse. They live on their own planet mentally. On one camp trip, I told one of the moms that her son was bullying my brother, and she just brushed it off as, "Well, boys will be boys. He was just playing." No wonder their kids acted the way they did. They didn't exactly have any good examples to follow. I never went to adults when anyone bullied me because they would bully me as well. Sometimes the adults would come over and ask me how my weekend was. Wait, someone actually cares? Oh, this is kind of cool. Well, so over the weekend, me, my family, and I. "So, bestie, how are you doing?" Don't ask if you just want to ignore me. I just learned to keep my mouth shut. After 12 years of the same situations, I lost all trust in adults and kids. To me, everyone was the same. I still kept hope, though. As long as I could have just one friend, I would be okay. I know I talked about seminary in my terrible teachers video, but there was one more story from there I'd like to share. There was a girl in that class that was a little bad at social cues. She was scrutinized by the other kids in the class. I figured she knew what it was like to get bullied by others, so I thought it would be really cool if we could keep each other company. We shared secrets with each other, talked about crushes, and cared for each other, or at least I thought we did. Her birthday was coming up, and she asked me to help her plan for it. And together we came up with a sweet plan for her sweet 16. Came to seminary with a pile of invitations. She asked me to help hand them out, so I did. invitations for everyone in the class, and some for the older classes in the same building. Her crush was one of the older boys. All of the invitations were gone. Hey, I'm invited as well, right? What? Why would you have an invitation? Only cool people are invited. You're not cool enough to come. I remember I just stood there, watching her smile and walking out the door.
All right. So, also, what the heck is it with these Fanta commercials? So let's talk about what happened. I don't really know if everyone understands why I relate to this a lot. For me, it's very tough to hear about these kind of things. Um, because I was the same way growing up. I was never liked. I was never really part of any groups. The only time I was ever part of a group was when I was older, and that was pretty tough for me. Um, this is getting really real for me. God damn it. So the thing that I really had a problem with was people understanding me. And from what I can tell from this video, she dealt with very similar things. It wasn't just understanding what I was saying or what I was planning or doing, it was how I was feeling. They would say things that would make me feel worse when they just really didn't help. And I'm talking about adults, kids, everyone. And sometimes I agree with her, adults can be way worse because they aren't able to understand how a child thinks or how a teenager thinks because they're way past that age. They use the excuse, oh, honey, I've been there. When, yeah, you have, but how many years ago was that? My own mom was a major example of that. I personally didn't relate well with my mom growing up. That's why her and I had a lot of fights growing up, and it was tough. In school, I was never really appreciated by many people. I was always the kid who was picked on from first grade all the way through the end of high school. I still, to this day, am bullied for a lot of things. It was very real. Um, Overall, though, it was exactly like what she was saying, where no one really respected me. They all kind of just used me for whatever they wanted. I would have people ask me for help with, homework because I was a very smart kid. I was always top of my class, even in elementary school. I was one of the smartest kids there was, and it's not something to brag about because it wasn't a good result for me. People would ask me to do their work for them, and it's that stereotypical bully, and I believed they were trying to be nice. No, they were using me. So it was tough for me because I always trusted people too much. I believed maybe someday someone will actually care about me, someone will actually understand me, someone will want to be friends with me. No. Now, growing up, I realized yes, a lot of people did. But in elementary school and middle school and even beginning of high school, a lot of people just didn't give a crap about me. The only time they stopped bullying me was when I would go and get some of them suspended for stuff. I had been stabbed twice. For anyone who's not aware, I was stabbed with a pencil and with a pocket knife in the same day. They were by the same group of two people. I was basically what you would call an ambush. I was lured over into a forested area by two other kids who were about a year older than me, and one stabbed me in the base of my like where my neck meets my shoulder, and to this day I still have problems with the joint because it pops out of place every now and then because they damaged that whole area. Um, and I was stabbed right in the chest with the pencil. So if you guys didn't know, uh, I actually could have died at the age of 16 because they stabbed so close to my actual lung that if they had hit my lung, I would have actually died. There would have been no way I would have survived. They were less than a centimeter away from my lung. So I was very lucky to survive that. And that's how bad my bullying situation was. Now, I'm not saying that that's anything horrible, because I've seen people get through way worse where they're beaten on a daily basis. But for me, it was tough. It was a tough time for me, my whole growing up, childhood to teenager years, because I trusted people too much. Like I said, they lured me into those woods because I believed in them. I believe that they were finally willing to give me a chance, and that's when that happened. Now, I don't know if they were trying to kill me or what they were trying to do, but that's not relevant, so I'm not going to go into details on that. The fact is that I have been so misunderstood my whole life. I was bullied because of it, and people didn't understand that I was a human being just like everyone else. So that I really relate to. Also, being told that I'm not allowed to go to things because I'm not cool enough. I've had that happen several times. And that one I don't really care about. I've gotten used to that whole aspect of it. Which is not something that I should be saying, where I've gotten used to getting bullied. But unfortunately, I have. Now, like I said, there are 3 other parts to this. The next 3 get even worse and more realistic and more real, and they hurt a lot for me. If you guys can't tell, I'm already cracking up. My voice is already like breaking, and I'm starting to kind of tear up. And it's just because this is very real to me. I've been through all of this. I sometimes say I don't care. Actually, I always say I don't care. But you'll learn with me that I say a lot of things saying I'm doing amazing or whatever because I do put on a mask. Just like Shgurr has done for most of her life. So, yeah. And I'll go into more of the mask in the next episode because the next episode is where it gets to that part. But yeah, this is just really real for me. So I hope you guys at least go check out Shgurr's actual videos. I'll link, of course, our channel in the description below. Um, go check out her videos. Like 100% go do it. But these 4 videos, this one is called A Salty Beginning. So it goes A Salty Beginning, a... What was the second one? It's the fight one, I know that. Oh, I don't remember what the title is, though. It's something fight. I think it just showed at the end of the video, didn't it? Whatever. The third one is... What's the third one? I know the fourth one is avoiding suicide. So it gets very dark, if you guys can't tell by those titles. The next episode is probably the one I relate to most, though. So that one will be very important to me. Anyways, I'm going to end this video now. Please go show Shgurr some support. And if anyone ever needs a friend to talk to, please let me know. I'm always here for anyone, and I know a lot of people aren't trusting. I was too trusting. I always have been. But when people are going through something, I hate to see it. And that's the whole point of me making this channel, was to help people and make a difference. I've always wanted to at least make people, give someone something to watch, to entertain them. If I can't make them smile, I at least want to give them something to do, because sometimes just a distraction is all you need. And I know my content's probably not the best. I would never say it's anywhere near good, in my opinion. But I do it because I enjoy it and I like helping people. I want to give someone the opportunity to say, hey, this is something I might enjoy. I should watch it. And then hopefully they'll feel better after whatever's going on. That was why I started YouTube. And I always say this because it's true. A lot of people do it because, yeah, it's a dream job. I don't care about it being a job. I never care about getting paid. I want to do it to help people. And that's why these videos were really nice to me. For anyone who's not aware, I've been going through stuff my whole life. Even now, I'm struggling with a lot of stress and a lot of things that I probably shouldn't have to go through. God, I'm crying right now. Oh, I hate this. Okay, I'm gonna end this video now. I'm going through a lot of stuff even now. And that's just something that happens in life. But it all builds up. And if you don't tell someone, it gets worse and worse. So, if anyone ever needs someone to talk to who's not judgmental, who will understand you and believe in you, I'm always available. Now, I know I'm not really that trustworthy. I'm a random guy, but sometimes that's all I can offer. All I can do is offer my assistance. So yeah. And also, I need to point out, a lot of people don't trust me. There's a lot of people who I've talked to who won't trust me with whatever's going on, and that's fine. I would never want anyone to tell me if they don't feel comfortable doing so. But the fact that some people have come to me with things that are going on with them, and I was always known as old wise one in school because I was always too wise for my old age, for my own age. It was important to me. I've always made a difference for people because I've always tried my hardest to do it without any sort of negative sort of. I need to point out I've never been able to judge anyone. I cannot judge anyone for anything. Like I have no right to. I'm just as bad as most other people in the world. I'm probably worse. So when I say that you can come to me, you can. There is no judgment whatsoever. I understand that people go through stuff that is sometimes the worst possible thing. So I'm offering right now, if you need to contact me, my Twitter is always open, and I'll link that, and I'll link my Twitter, I'll link my um, email, and I'll link my, what else do I have? There was one other way to message people. I have my new Discord where you can find me. Um, you can always contact me on any of those. My DMs are always open on everything, so always feel free to contact me if you need a friend. So yeah. Also, if anyone else after the series is over, after these 4 videos are all viewed and talked about, please go send some sort of support message to Shgurr on Instagram or whatever. Because I sent her a message on Instagram. I haven't gotten a reply to my knowledge, but I also haven't checked Instagram in about 4 days, so you never know. But she has her DMs open on Instagram for people who have gone through similar things, and that's why I, of course, contacted her. Anyways, that's all for this video. Bye, everyone, and I hope you guys are able to, you know, get through life knowing that things that happen are there for a reason. Sometimes it is impossible to deal with for a very good reason. But you always have to stay strong, which is easier said than done, but it's something that I had to remember. Anyways, let's end the video now. Thanks. Bye.